Hey guys, Jeff with Westcott Designs. We don't actually dive into these trucks enough and share some of this stuff with you. A lot of rhetoric, noise on the internet lately. And so I thought rather than go back and forth with people on the internet about this or that we'll just come over to the vehicle, we'll prove some facts and show it in plain day, just so customers understand, you know, does this give you more droop? Does this give you more extension? Does this go to compression the same? So we're over here on the driver's side. We've simulated the strut assembly back in. We've got our half-inch shim in the top. We've got the nuts back on the top, got the bottom part back together down here. It's got our preload collar in it here. And what we've done is we took a measurement from here to the center of the axle to the bottom edge of the wheel well right here. And when we did that, when it was bone stock, before we disassembled anything, we were at 24 inches. We assembled our top half-inch shim with our collar back on it, and now we are at 24 9/16 from the center of the axle to the bottom edge right here. So we did gain droop with the top half-inch shim in there in the top. This got our collar on it. This is the steel stamped collar. They stamped this out, and it was the factory one was right here in the bottom. We've installed our billet machine collar, which obviously when I look at this steel stamped and we do testing on it, this thing's almost 6 times stronger than this before failure rate. So let's do this. We're gonna walk around to the other side where we've installed a Bilstein 5100. Doesn't matter what clip height it's on right now, we're looking at total droop on this setup. We've assembled the Bilstein 5100 back in the truck. We've tightened everything up so it's at where it would be when it was on, basically at full droop with the spring in it. 24 inches, center axle, bottom edge of the wheel well here. And now at full droop with this, it is longer than the factory. It's half-inch at full droop here, so it's 24.5. Someone says, oh, well, you get more droop on the Bilstein 5100 than you do the Westcott lift. Obviously, we just proved that's not true. 24 9/16 on the driver's side, 24.5 on this side. With this, it has adjustment. If you want to have less lift in the truck, you can do so. You're not going to get as much lift out of the 5100, but that's so it has more rebound on the other end, but that's totally up to you as far as the way you want to set up. It's got the clip height adjustments, which again, preloads the lower part of the spring of the factory spring. It preloads it, so you can set more preload on it to get more lift, or set it down low and have less lift on that. So you can kind of set it up the way that you want. Now what we're gonna do on this is we're going to go to full compression on both sides to show that it bumps out on the bump stop the way it was designed. So we've lost no upward travel and we've lost no downward travel as far as at full extension on this. The limiting factor is gonna be for the guys that wanna run larger tires. We're gonna see when we take the measurement here at full compression, if we still have room at full compression with proper wheel offset, if we're gonna have fender to tire interference here, or I know at 37 you definitely have tire to fender interference. So we're gonna just take this based off of maybe a 35 to see if we can still clear the fender without having any complications here. So we're gonna get that all mocked up for you, and then we're gonna get back with you here. Now you've got this simulated at full compression here. And as you can see on my flashlight here, it's on the bump stop. It's starting to get a little bit light here on this. So we do know that the bump stop is activated and it's working because it's unloading the lift here on this. We're at full compression here. We don't have any interference clearance here. This has got the Bilstein 5100 in it. I'm gonna take the measurement now from here, from the center of the axle to the bottom edge. We're at 17. So when I talk about tire size, the limiting factor is not going to be the bump stop here. The limiting factor or the upward travel, it's gonna be the tire size. With a 34-inch tire, would be making contact on here. 35-inch tire, it's gonna blow the fender off this at full compression. At 37-inch, it's gonna wipe the whole fender out if someone goes out and actually uses this truck. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna take the pull jack, we're gonna do it on our side, and we're gonna simulate this exact same thing over on that side to show upward travel on this. So you can see the total range on this. So we were 24 stock at full droop, 24.5 at full extension, and now we're 17 inches at full compression on this side. So now with our lift kit on this side, we've simulated at full compression again, and we are right at that 17-inch right there mark. Whether you run our lift kit or the Bilstein 5100, the limiting factor is not going to be the bump stop right here. You can see the bump stop, it's bumped out on the bump stop here, okay? We're not even using our half-inch shim at the bottom down here to limit the bump stop, but we're using this just to show you here on the bump stop with our 1/2-inch shim in the top, with our lower collar simulated with as the spring would be in there, you're still limited on that 34-inch tire at full compression if you were gonna actually use this truck in the off-road situation. So both go to full compression the same, both at full extension are like 24 and 9/16 on this side, and on the Bilstein side, we're 24.5. So really good just to be able to share that with you so you can see in real world use out there, one versus the other. I didn't measure the body size. The body size is within a couple thousandths between just the standard body size and the Bilstein 5100. So if you have any questions, please reach out. I hope this information is useful for you to see actual usage of suspension travel on the front of this 2026 Toyota Tundra. Thanks so much for watching.